Masterath brings the heat. Sam Elliott on repeat. Whispers of Fernandez creep. Lensing Garrow's best completes. Dirty noise loud and clear. Big God conquers fear. Feels like the end is near as England sheds another tear. The time has arrived. Lift the global trophy high. Underneath arena lights. Feel formations unify. A world united till we die. Game on! 2026!
Well, we've had 3 of our qualifiers already here at the 2026 Global Trophy, and now it's time to find our final 8 teams to join us in next week's Global Trophy Finals. Welcome, everyone, to the 2026 Global Trophy, the final qualifiers, the Americas qualifiers. I am Masterath, and I'm joined as always alongside.
I'm Elliot64, and yes, we are back for more. Obviously, last week we saw South Africa taking the African title for 2026, beating runaway favourites Nigeria in the final, which was a bit of a turn-up. You know, Nigeria once again falling short on a potential championship run.
Yeah, I mean, that's, what, 4 times in 3 years now? They've finished runner-up in something. The last 3 African qualifiers and the Global Trophy Championship last year as well.
Yeah, it's crazy that they're on a bit of a, I don't want to say a bottling streak, but you you have to think about these things when you consider, they lost the African final this year, the Global Trophy final last year, the African final last year, and the African final the year before that as well against Ivory Coast. So questions to be asked of the mentality of Nigeria, but not here for Nigeria this week. We are here, of course, for the Americas.
Yeah, definitely. And there's really 3 questions that will that could be answered, or at least get close to being answered, in this qualifier, pretty much. The first one, of course, is our current Global Trophy champions, Mexico. They'll need to make it into the top 8 to have a chance of even being maybe the first team since the Netherlands to win back-to-back Global Trophies. There's also, obviously, Argentina, our current reigning Global Trophy champion of champions. This is their last chance until the Champion of Champions happening in 2026 to coincide with the 2026 World Cup. They'll be happening in the US, Mexico, and Canada to win the 3 big titles, pretty much, that you can win and hold them all at the same time, which is the Champion of Champions, your Continental Qualifier Championship, and the Global Trophy. This is really their last chance to do it. Possibly.
And see, yeah, it's to guarantee the opportunity, isn't it? Because, they may well lose their Champion of Champions status by the end of that next tournament.
They certainly could. And obviously, there's also the Americas has never seen a team do the three-peat in the Americas qualifiers. And Brazil currently have 2 Global Trophy Americas Qualifier Championships to their name. Will they be the first team to win it 3 times in a row?
Yep, so Europe have got France have done the three-peat, Asia have got Australia have done the three-peat, and Africa have got Nigeria have done the three-peat. But no one in South America, or the Americas in general, has ever done it. Brazil sits at the precipice of history. Can they get a 3rd Americas title in a row?
Yeah, and to especially stop Argentina from doing it. I mean, we've seen Argentina. We've seen, obviously, they're the Global Trophy ranked number 1, the first team to ever get to 100 victories in the Global Trophy's entire history. But they've never done 3 in a row, and Brazil could be the team to
it's
stop
crazy.
that.
Argentina have done 2 back-to-back 3 separate times and have been stopped. They won 4 out of 5 between 2019 and 2023. They only lost in 2021 to Chile. And yet, Brazil have the chance to do it now.
They certainly do, and I believe Argentina currently have 11 America's titles, I believe, so they could win 12. They could win their 12th in this tournament here.
Yeah, they do have 11, yeah, correct. Brazil, of course, on 5 titles, Chile on 2, Mexico, Paraguay, and Ecuador all on 1.
Okay, well, let's get straight into this. The Americas qualifiers. First off, our dud team, it's Belize. They had a really good chance, and they did really well to make a good comeback. A really good comeback in the preliminary league last month, but not enough to win it.
No. No, it wasn't good enough. They fell just short, didn't they? Unfortunately, did Belize. But, you know, they've made it to this point. Hopefully next year they'll learn lessons, although their FIFA ranking was pretty miserable, wasn't it, Belize? So
181.
I believe the only South American team not to automatically pre-qualify.
But the team that did barely get past them is a team that quite honestly even fell under our radars, to be honest. But they have surely the greatest comeback in the history of the preliminary league. Dominica finishing 7th place.
Yeah, they were nowhere, weren't they? For the longest time, absolutely nowhere. What a comeback from Dominica. FIFA ranked 182, I believe, one of the lowest in this competition. Not the lowest, but one of the lowest. It's a remarkable achievement from Dominica.
Right now, with the American teams left in, second lowest.
Okay.
But yeah, Dominica, in their first 10 matches in the preliminary league, they got 10 points. They then went on to win their last 5 matches in a row.
Insane. Absolutely insane. So they doubled their points, literally, in 5 games.
Yeah, they pretty much got 150% more in 5 games than they did in their first 10. You know, the greatest comeback I think we've ever seen in the preliminary league's history. Absolutely, to qualify. Next up, not Global Trophy rank, sorry. FIFA rank number 178, Barbados. I'm surprised they finished that low.
Yeah, they have been previous winners of the Americas preliminary qualifiers, so yeah, maybe a little bit disappointing for them. They'll be hoping to correct that and try and get into a decent position in the actual Global Trophy qualifiers now.
Certainly would. Next up, they have made it into the top 8 before in the Americas section. In the last couple of years, I believe. St. Kitts and Nevis finished 5th.
Yeah, they did. They pre-qualified a couple of years ago, didn't they? And then they were one of the teams that made it through to the actual finals. So hoping for a repeat of that. St. Kitts and Nevis not their best run in the preliminaries this year. Again, you know, much like Barbados, they have been, you know, high-end places in that league. So they'll be hoping for better things here.
I do believe they're the only Saint team to have actually made it this time
They did,
round.
yeah. St. Vincent missed out, as did
St. Lucia as well.
Yeah, St. Lucia missed out as well, didn't they? They both missed out.
Yeah. Finishing 4th in the preliminary league. I believe their first appearance in the preliminary league for a while. They usually pre-qualify, but they're usually at the lower end of that. They dropped in to the preliminary league this time round, but a solid 4th place for Antigua and Barbuda.
Yeah, their FIFA ranking is kind of, it's below St. Kitts and Nevis, for example, now. But obviously they normally do, you know, they've been pushed out by another team, which we'll get to later on. But yeah, they did make it through. No problem for them. They'll be happy with that.
Next up, finishing 3rd in the preliminary league, it is Grenada.
Great results from Grenada this time around. They had a pretty decent run of things. And let's see how they get on here.
Next up, a team that essentially allowed Cuba to qualify last year, but they finished 2nd this time round. They didn't make it last time. Bermuda, solid 2nd place.
Yeah, they were superb, weren't they? They were one of the surprise packages, weren't they? But not as big a surprise package as our eventual winner of the preliminary league, of course.
Sorry about that, folks. We're back. Yeah, my microphone decided to be a bit of an arse for about 20, 30 seconds. But yeah, the lowest ranked FIFA side left in the tournament. But the winners of the preliminary league, Aruba, FIFA ranked 194.
Ranked 194.
Yeah.
Normally a team that we don't get to see at Aruba. In recent years, their FIFA rank has gone up enough to a point where they are not the dud team in the Americas pre-qualifiers this year. They went to the Cayman Islands. And yeah, Aruba winning the Americas preliminary league, which is a great achievement.
Great achievement for Aruba there. Speaking of, another great achievement for the team as we're getting into the top 16 FIFA ranked sides that didn't make the top 8 in the Americas qualifiers last year here at the Global Trophy. Perennial preliminary league team, Suriname. They pre-qualified this year.
Yeah, Suriname, of course, you know, famously have so many, a lot of the Dutch national team players who are, people like Genie Wijnaldum or Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank or the Kluiverts,
Brunswijk,
Virgil van Dijk. They're all of,
yeah,
Ronnie Brunswijk, the vice president who is still playing football, now. They are all of Suriname descent, and yeah, they'd have quite the national football team if they were eligible for that team.
Certainly would. But then again, I guess that if you're good enough as a footballer, those other
You'd
options.
rather play for the Netherlands.
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
I think choosing Netherlands is probably the better option. At least for your career, but you never know, I guess. You know, Suriname might have, could have been like a World Cup or something. Who knows?
Yep.
Next up, FIFA rank number 130, we have Nicaragua.
Yeah, Nicaragua. I don't know. It's not one of the stronger teams in this competition. Let's say that much. But you know, they're capable of picking off a few scalps. Maybe getting their way into the top 16. We'll have to wait and see.
When it comes to that, obviously, you only need 2 wins at this point. So if you can get an easy run, you can make it. We have seen that multiple times before as well.
We have indeed.
Next up, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep, one of the bigger Caribbean competitors in this. Of course, once upon a time, were qualifying for World Cups, weren't they? With players like... with Dwight York, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was 2002, wasn't it? I believe. The
I think it
Japan
was
South
6.
Korea one.
I know
Was it
England played
06?
them a couple of times, didn't they?
Yeah, it was around that era for sure.
Yeah, it was the mid to early 2000s.
Certainly. Yeah. Next up, FIFA rank number 100, Guatemala.
Yeah, Guatemala, another nation in the Caribbean, I believe, aren't they?
Yes, I believe so. Next up, FIFA rank number 90. I almost said 80 because it sounds like it. It's Haiti.
It's Haiti. So good. Imagine if they were FIFA rank 80. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Go on, get up there, Haiti. I believe Haiti, a couple of years ago, was a Global Trophy Finals dud team.
They were, yeah. They have capabilities, certainly. And, yeah, one of the teams to watch out for. They're no pushovers, Haiti. Obviously, they share an island with the Dominican Republic, I believe.
Yep, so they'll probably be quite happy that Dominican Republic's already out, and Dominica actually made it through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, it is Curacao. Now, obviously, thanks to Motorsport Mike, of course, we now know that they are actually in this game, but they're under a different name. Netherlands Antilles.
They are indeed. Yeah, absolutely. One of the teams to watch out for. We'll have to see how Curacao get on that now. They are no longer a replacement team. Also, it would have been, I believe, Armenia.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It would have been, yeah. Also, ranked 86th. It's quite high for Curacao, I think.
Rankings. Yeah, definitely.
Next up, ranked 78. The team that, well, when it comes to the South American side, like the South American sides that most of us would actually know, they were usually Venezuela was the lowest. Not anymore, and it hasn't been for a while. Bolivia.
Yeah, Bolivia kind of slipped down the ratings quite a bit. Although they're not terrible. I think they have qualified in recent years, haven't they?
I don't think it's been for a while. I think...
Well, they did. Maybe think of someone else.
It's not been a while for Bolivia. I know Venezuela have.
Yeah.
Recently. I don't remember Bolivia doing it in quite a long time. Next up, FIFA rank number 70. It is Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica, of course, coached these days by Steve McLaren.
Steve McLaren, yes. I believe, didn't we have a chat about this last year about when he was... What was he managing? FC20, I think, in...
Oh, yes, his Dutch accent.
His stupid Dutch accent. He wouldn't get away with doing a Jamaican accent in the Jamaican national team, would he?
No, he wouldn't. Although he was...
Not in 2025, at least.
Yeah, when he was having his first interview, when he's like, yeah, I had some jerk chicken. It was too hot for me.
Yeah. Next up, out of the football war, this team's certainly the one that's been that's not been impressing in comparison. Ranked 66, Honduras.
Yeah, Honduras, another team to watch out for potentially. Again, I think they're fairly solid, but they're not spectacular. Let's say that much.
I think they made it to round 2 last time round. I think in the qualifiers, so they got close.
Yeah, they generally have got a win in them, right?
Yeah, definitely. Certainly do. Next up, rank 57. This team's dropped in rankings for sure. It's Chile.
Yeah, Chile, 2 times America's champions in 2021 and in 2011. Of course, last time they won the title, they beat Argentina en route to taking the title. But the days of yore when they had Alexis Sanchez and Claudio Bravo, the keeper?
I think so.
I think it was. And I think they also had people like, Gary Medel, players like that. they've all kind of gone away now. They've not really got anyone coming through the ranks anymore.
Yeah, it's certainly a time when we could see Chile start dropping even further than 57th. Next up, ranked 46th. They've really started to make a move now. Venezuela.
Yeah, Venezuela, famed for its, well, I believe petrochemicals in Venezuela, and of course, lately in the news, they've been their barges have been bombed by the US, I believe.
Then again, we could say that to about a lot of teams, to be honest, with how America's going right now.
Well, yeah, enough said.
Next up, ranked 43, Paraguay.
Former America's champions back in 2009. Bit of a rogue shout, but they're a good team, Paraguay. One to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago, they knocked Argentina out in round 2 at this in the Americas qualifiers, of course, famously.
I think it was 2024, wasn't it? They did it.
Yeah. They certainly did, and that essentially stopped Argentina, I think, from winning 3 in a row, I think, at that point as well.
Yeah, they were the first team in locals to beat them in 3 years, so very impressive from Paraguay.
Next up, another solid side, ranked number 30 currently in the FIFA rankings. Yes, ranked number 30, Panama.
Yeah,
solid
Panama,
side.
decent side. And of course, they were in the World Cup a couple of years ago, weren't they, against England?
Sure were, yeah. Oh yeah, didn't we win like 6 or something? 6-1 or something like that.
Yeah, Harry Kane scored a hat trick. I know that much.
Yeah, but still a solid side, Panama.
Yeah.
Next up, ranked 28, another solid side, Canada, one of the hosts of the World Cup in 2026.
Yeah, of course. You have to watch out for Canada. Not one of the strongest in global trophy competition, I have to say.
No, especially when it comes to the 3 North American sides, Canada's definitely the weakest.
Yes, yeah, it is. But, we'll have to see how they get on. They're not a terrible team, but I wouldn't say they're one of the favourites to qualify.
Yeah. Next up, FIFA ranked number 16, the Sleeping Giants, who really have not done anything in the global trophy at the moment, Uruguay.
Yeah, they're not one of the perennial teams. We'll get to another team who have never won a title in any aspect, but they are a strong team. We'll get to them a bit later on. But yeah, Uruguay, they have been top 4 in recent years in the Americas section, but not for a while.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to teams you expect to do well in a football tournament, Uruguay is a team that's sort of like on the cusp there that you'd expect to do decently. Yeah. And they just really haven't done much in the global trophy in its over 20-year history.
No, it's a surprise, really.
Next up, FIFA ranked number 15, another host of the 2026 World Cup, the USA.
Yeah, of course, the USA have been losing finalists on a couple of occasions in the Americas section. Have never won the Americas section though, but they'll be hoping to do so. The US have also finished in the top 3 overall in the global trophy.
Certainly have done, but they'll be really disappointed that their southern neighbors Mexico went on to actually win the global trophy and be the first North American team to do so instead of the US.
Absolutely.
Next up, we get to our top 8 teams that finished in the top 8 in the Americas qualifiers last time round. Last year, kicking off with ranked 87th in the FIFA rankings, El Salvador.
Yeah, losing out to Costa Rica that time in 2025. They were out in the quarterfinals, but El Salvador, I believe they've qualified a couple of times as well, other than last year as well, haven't they? They're not a terrible team, El Salvador.
I think they qualified back to back.
They may well have done.
I think 2024 and 2025, they qualified for the finals back-to-back, I think.
Impressive stuff.
Next up, it's the FIFA rank number 1. It's the Global Trophy rank number 1. It's the World Cup champions. It's the Global Trophy champion of champions, Argentina.
Yeah, no introduction needed. The best team in the game, although no titles in nearly 3 years now for Argentina. They are also still 1 behind Australia, I believe, on titles.
Believe they are, yes, at the moment.
Still, even though Australia had another shocker this year.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, they've made it. They, again, just like last year, they made it to a Global Trophy quarterfinals. They never fail to make the Global Trophy finals, quarterfinals, if they actually qualify for the Global Trophy finals. I think they've done that like 13, 14 years now. Yep. Can they do it again this year, or will they get a shock defeat?
Well, yeah, you never know, do you, really? Obviously, they lost out in the semi-finals last year, didn't they, to Nigeria, which was a big shock. Everyone kind of thought, well, Argentina's just going to clean up from here, but they never did. So, work to do for Argentina. They'll be hoping to get a bit of momentum going before the Champion of Champions next year, or this year, later on this year.
And of course, they were knocked out in the quarterfinals in the Americas qualifiers to Colombia last time round.
Yeah, the consistent team.
Next up, FIFA rank number 25, Ecuador.
Yep, America's champions in 2007, the first America's champions not called Argentina.
Certainly off for Ecuador. It's been a while, though, for Ecuador. Well, almost 20 years. Since Ecuador has really done that. But still a solid side. One of our top 30 in the Global Trophy rankings, of course. Next up, all rise for the new Global Trophy champions. For the first time ever, Mexico.
Yes, of course. Last year, the stunning Mexican win, of course, the holding the trophy this year in Mexico as reverence to that last year's title. Mexico, former winner, former runner-up of, the global trophy as well, and of course, former America's champions in 2013.
Yeah, I mean, they were the first ever runners-up in a global trophy on YouTube. They finished runners-up to France in 2017.
They did indeed.
Now we get to our quarterfinals, and first off, it's been an amazing dream run. Can they do it again? It's FIFA rank number 40, Costa Rica.
Yeah, they've been good, haven't they? I think they've also done back-to-back qualifications, Costa Rica. Impressive, efforts from them. I'd love for them to keep it going. It's going to be a big ask for them to keep it going, but, what a story it would be if they do.
I believe 2 years ago, they finished runner-up to Brazil. And last year, they finished in the top 4. So, yeah, it's been a good run for Costa Rica. Speaking of good runs, it's the ever-consistent FIFA rank number 14, Colombia.
Yeah, they've been superb, haven't they? They've the highest-ranked team in the entire Global Trophy to have never won silverware. Maybe this is their year.
Maybe it is for Colombia. Surely it can't be too much longer now for Colombia to win one. Surely expect so. Next, I'd think the shocking runner-ups, to be honest, of the America's qualifiers last year. FIFA rank 42, Peru.
Yeah, they had a decent run, didn't they? I mean, of course, if you look at their route to the final from the top 8, of course, they beat Ecuador, followed by Costa Rica, and then obviously lost to Brazil in the final. So it was an easier run. But you still got to do it. You still got to beat the teams around you. And they did that really well, so fair play to them.
Yep, but they were, in the end, beaten by... Well, can they go back-to-back? Can they do the three-peat? Can they do it? It's the reigning America's champions, FIFA ranked number 5, Brazil.
Yep, 3 times on the bounce is the aim for Brazil. They've won 5 America's titles. They've won 2 global trophies, and they were the first ever global trophy champion of champions as well. Can they do the unthinkable and win 3 America's titles in a row? Let's find out.
Sure, a team that has done it all. Can they do something that Argentina haven't been able to do? We'll find out now. All right, and we kick off. Well, okay. Argentina's looking quite solid.
Yeah, they've got a nice run. I mean, they've got a really nice run, haven't they? Potentially to the final, I reckon.
Yeah. The USA or Uruguay might have a good run as well. Also, Panama, Venezuela, or El Salvador are going to be top 8. Ecuador, yep. Jamaica, Antigua, Barbuda, or Paraguay are going to be top 8.
Yeah, a lot of the big hitters are in the bottom half of the bracket here, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, where's Colombia? Where's Brazil? Where's Mexico?
Where's Chile?
Where's
Where
Chile?
is, there's a lot of big hitters down the bottom half of the bracket, but we'll get to those shortly. We'll start off though with Bolivia and Curacao, represented, of course, by themselves, the Netherlands Antilles. To start off, the Americas qualifiers.
Oh, this is going to suck to edit. It went again.
It's all right, we can just cut that out.
It's all right. Okay, Bolivia versus Netherlands Antilles. Well, that's a good start for Bolivia. 7-0.
Wow. Curacao eliminated right out of the gate.
Yep, straight out. 7-0. Great performance from Bolivia there. And we move on now to Argentina versus Costa Rica. Big match, this.
Yeah, Costa Rica, of course, they've qualified for the last couple of years back-to-back. It's a stern task, however, in the first round.
Certainly is, to try and stop Argentina. Nope, 7-0 as well. Argentina, St. Oblivion. Oh, you can do that, so can we, but against top teams.
Yep. Unfortunately for Costa Rica, their dream of the last couple of years ends there. It may not be enough to get them into the Champion of Champions in a couple of years, well, in a couple of months' time.
You never know, but Argentina looking solid right now. Haiti and St. Kitts and Nevis, two teams that have made it to Global Trophy Finals recently.
Of course, St. Kitts and Nevis had to pre-qualify. Can they get past Haiti here? Although Haiti are a decent side.
Certainly are. It is St. Kitts and Nevis, 1-0. They're through to round 2.
Good effort from St. Kitts there. They will take on a tough match out of the US and Uruguay in the round of 16.
Certainly are the two highest FIFA ranked teams that didn't make the top 8 in the Americas qualifiers last year. It's the USA, 2-1 Uruguay, out again at this stage.
Disappointment for the Uruguayans, out in the round of 32. The US progress to take on St. Kitts.
Certainly is. Panama and Venezuela, an interesting match this between these two.
I don't know who the favourite would be out of these two. Neither of these two qualified last year. One of them will get the opportunity to take on El Salvador in the next round to qualify this time. I'd say probably the favourite to Venezuela.
I'd probably say so as well. Yep, Venezuela through 2-0 into the second round, and they will take on El Salvador in round 2. Can El Salvador do 3 in a row here?
Be very impressive if they could. They get the dud match against Belize, of course. El Salvador progressing to the round of 16 again. There's RJ, of course.
He's always here. He'll be here for the final and all.
You know, we love having RJ about, don't we? We love having him about.
Well, as long as we don't see any coach drivers, we're all right, I think.
Exactly. You know, no trips to the Faroe Islands for him.
Nope.
He's all good.
Again, they're doing all right actually.
They are. They might qualify for the World Cup.
Which means, hold on, does that mean that maybe with that they may enter a preliminary league at some point?
They might,
but not as a dud.
It's a non-zero chance. Although Europe is obviously a lot more competitive than most other places, right? But you never know. They might end up being a replacement team at some point for another team. Who knows?
You never know. So Ecuador versus Jamaica. Another interesting one, this.
I'd say probably Ecuador the favourites. Former America's champions almost 20 years ago now. They've got an opportunity to go through to the round of 16.
Sure do. No, Jamaica's through to round 2. Ecuador out.
That's a shocker for me. Jamaica with a cracking result there to go through to the round of 16 to take on either Antigua and Barbuda, the pre-qualifiers, or another former America's champions, Paraguay.
Surely Paraguay are the favourites in this one. Surely they are. You expect so. The former Argentina killers of 2 years ago. 6-0 there through to round 2 to take on Jamaica.
Easy win for Paraguay then. Next up, the second half of the bracket begins with Trinidad and Tobago and Guatemala.
Two teams pretty much right next to each other in the FIFA rankings. It's a win for Guatemala. Trinidad and Tobago out, and Barbados will take on Mexico next.
Yep. Tough ask for Barbados taking on the Global Trophy champions.
The champions have got a good route to the final, I'd say. 5-0, they're through to round 2. Oh, and Colombia versus Brazil in round 1.
That's a tough ask for Brazil. They've got to get past the ever-consistent Colombia, but, you know, Brazil, they're on for the three-peat. They've got to want it. They're going to have to beat a top team to get there.
Certainly will. Colombia's through, Brazil out in round 1, which means the three-peat will not happen. And this means it's Argentina's to lose now, isn't it?
It really is Argentina's to lose. Like, how on earth is anyone going to stop that juggernaut at the top half of the bracket? Colombia progress. Brazil go home. And it will be a Colombia versus Chile or Canada match in the round of 16.
Another solid tie.
Yeah, it is another solid tie.
It is Chile 3-0 and into round 2. Chile versus Colombia. Big match that. Dominica versus Bermuda next. 2 pre-qualifiers.
Yeah, 2 pre-qualifiers. Hoping for a spot in the round of 16.
Certainly are. Dominica, their run continues! And it's Nicaragua versus Aruba. One of those 4 is going to be in the Global Trophy Finals.
It's the luck of the draw. Aruba, the winners of the preliminary league, taking on Nicaragua.
Yep, who barely survived not being in the preliminary league due to their FIFA rankings. It is Aruba! We will have a preliminary league team in the Global Trophy Finals from the Americas. Dominica or Aruba.
We love to see it. Absolutely, we love to see it. Aruba, of course, the winners of the preliminary league. Dominica on a 6-game winning streak. but we'll have to wait and see how they get on in the round of 16. Our penultimate match in the round of 32 is Peru versus Honduras.
El Salvador have a really good chance of doing 3 in a row. Honduras need to get past the runners-up, and currently, the team that did the best last year out of these American teams in the American preliminaries, or in the American qualifiers, that's still left in.
Yep.
It is Peru on penalties barely, but they are through to round 2. And lastly, it's Suriname versus, well, a team that they know very much about due to being in multiple preliminary leagues with them in the past, Grenada.
Yep, 2 teams who will be hoping for a shot at glory taking on Peru.
Certainly will. It is Suriname 3-2 into round 2.
Ooh. So, pressure's on then for teams like Chile, Colombia, and Peru. You know, potential banana skin ties for those guys. Another banana skin tie for Argentina is Bolivia.
Can Bolivia do the potentially unthinkable, or is this simply Argentina's to lose?
Argentina's absolutely the red-hot favourites to go win this now. Both teams, of course, winning 7-0 in the first round. Who goes through to the round of 8 and qualifies for the global trophy?
Certainly, neither could one-up each other. Well, another 7-0 for Argentina. They're into another global trophy finals.
What a shock.
Biggest shock of the year. Can the USA join them? They've got St. Kitts and Nevis, who have made it to a global trophy finals recently. The USA missed out last time.
They did miss out last time. Of course, St. Kitts, a pre-qualifying team this time around. Can they get past a tricky tie against the US?
Certainly a tricky tie here. USA through 1-0. It's barely enough, but it is enough. The USA through to the quarterfinals and into another global trophy finals.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that one. They'll be happy with that. Venezuela and El Salvador. El Salvador with a chance to go 3 for 3 in preliminary qualifiers. In the qualifiers for the continent, at least.
Certainly could. Venezuela have been to a global trophy finals, I think, in 2024. They'd like to do it again in 2026. No, it's 3 in a row for El Salvador. What a run they've had recently.
They had the dud in the first round. There was no dud here and no gimmies, and they've done a great job beating Venezuela.
Jamaica versus Paraguay next for another spot.
Jamaica have already beaten one America's champion. Can they beat a second?
Paraguay, the solid favourites, I'd say here. Ooh, barely. They're through, though. And it's a penalty win for Paraguay. They're through.
Yep, made it back into the America's final 8 for the first time in a couple of years. They didn't make it last year. They do in 2026.
Guatemala. It's going to be amazing if they can knock out the global trophy champions here. But Mexico, surely the favourites to have a chance of retaining their title. They just need to get past Guatemala at this point. And they do. Mexico, the global trophy champions, back into the global trophy finals to try and retain the title.
Yeah, you got to expect to have they'd have a pretty nice run of it, Mexico, but they're still going to beat the teams in front of them, and that's exactly what they've done. They will be in our finals next week.
2-time America's champions Chile versus the ever-consistent Colombia. Who's going through here?
The irresistible force and the immovable object. Of course, Colombia beat Brazil to get to this stage, let's not forget.
Sure did. Can they knock out another champion? Yes, they can! Colombia back into the global trophy finals once again for Colombia.
Consistency is key for Colombia. They make it through to the top 8 once again. Brilliant performance.
I'm interested about this one. Dominica, the greatest comeback in a preliminary leagues.
Can I just say, Dominica and Aruba were the lowest FIFA ranked teams out of everybody in the global trophy that were actually participating in the global trophy this year. Aruba 194, Dominica 182. One of these two is going to be in the global trophy finals and therefore will automatically qualify next year.
And will probably be the dud for the final. Maybe.
Who cares?
But one of these two is going to do it. Can Dominica carry on their run, or will the preliminary league champions Aruba make it to, I think, maybe their first ever global trophy finals? Maybe. It is Aruba, Dominica. It was a spirited run for Dominica, but Aruba make it through to the global trophy finals.
The lowest FIFA ranked team possible has done it. They've gone from 194th in the world on FIFA ranking to the top 32 teams in the world in terms of the global trophy. Amazing.
Amazing run for Aruba, and I'll have to adjudicate and see sort of who's going to be the dud team. It's probably going to be Aruba, but you never know.
Unless they beat Peru or Suriname.
Oh, yeah, that is a choice. That is an option, actually. Yes, they could be exempt if they can get past one of those two. Peru, runners-up last year. Suriname, their first time actually automatically qualifying, not having to go through the preliminaries in quite a while.
Yeah, it's a big match here for Suriname. Peru are obviously the favourites, but you never know.
You never know. It is Peru, 2-0. They are through to another Global Trophy Finals, and that is our top 8 from the Americas. It's a bit weak, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. There's certainly a few notable teams missing. Of course, Brazil, Chile, Ecuador as well. You'd probably have to say Uruguay, but there's some fun teams in there.
Certainly is. Let's kick off with a team that's all business. Argentina. This is theirs to lose. They have got the USA in the quarterfinals.
They won their first 2 matches 7-0. Is this a sign that you're going to beat the USA 7-0?
Third time's a charm. No, it's a penalty win, but Argentina are through. They've got past the banana skin, and they are in to the semi-finals.
They do just about beat the USA on penalties. They will take on El Salvador or Paraguay next up. Of course, Paraguay beat Argentina in 2024, didn't they?
Is the rematch written in the stars? Yes, it is! The rematch is on! Argentina-Paraguay in the semi-finals!
Very, very tense stuff. Of course, Argentina have never gone more than 2 years without winning an America's title. Could that be another omen for them to get overcome here? Paraguay, of course, who beat them 2 years ago. We'll have to see a little bit later.
Certainly will. Mexico, the reigning Global Trophy champions, taking on the ever-consistent Colombia, yet to win a trophy.
Could this be their year? Mexico, of course, probably the favourites, though.
Certainly will, being Global Trophy champions. And they are through to the semi-finals with a 1-0 win over Colombia.
Good result for Mexico. Aruba, it's been a spirited run. It'll be a massive ask to beat Peru, but this is their chance to stop themselves being the, I think, inevitable dud in the Global Trophy Finals.
If they can stop Peru.
It's not impossible.
Can they do it? No, Peru 3-0 into the semi-finals in Aruba. I'm pretty sure they're the dud, but you never know. We'll have to obviously have a check and have a look, but Aruba, spirited effort.
Yeah, very spirited. Congratulations to them. They made the Global Trophy Finals. Come on now. They're the lowest ranked team in the entire competition.
Yeah, and they have made it. Probably definitely the dud, but good attempt for Aruba, certainly. Right. Some serious business now. The rematch is on. Argentina versus Paraguay. Paraguay, 2 years ago, knocked Argentina out in round 2, preventing them from winning 3 America's titles in a row. Now they face one-on-one in the semi-finals. The winner goes to the final. It is Argentina 2-1. It was very close, but Paraguay couldn't do the double on Argentina.
No, they couldn't. Argentina making it all the way to the final, as we kind of expected, really. But a decent effort from Paraguay. Mexico versus Peru. Peru, of course, last year's runner-up, took on Brazil then. Mexico, the Global Trophy champions.
Just having a check. Have Peru ever won the Americas before?
They haven't, no.
They haven't? Ooh, okay. So, could they get 2 final appearances in a row? Or will the Global Trophy champions set up quite a blockbuster main event, to be honest, of this video? It is Mexico 2-0. Can they go and win another America's title? Or will Argentina win number 12?
Well, Mexico have not won in nearly 13 years in the Americas. They won the Global Trophy last year. Can they beat Argentina, or is it just an inevitable crushing 12th Argentina America's title?
Could be. It is Argentina win number 12. And that means that they are just 1 trophy away. 1 trophy away from winning all 3.
Yeah, they weren't having it, were they? They weren't having Mexico take their thunder this time. And once again, they haven't had to wait longer than 2 years before winning another title. Argentina are back at the summit of America's football, winning the 2026 America's title.
And I believe they have now equaled Australia again.
They have.
They sure have. Well, the qualifiers are now out of the way. We have one final video to go, which will be next week. The Global Trophy Finals. It's gearing up to be a very interesting final. To be honest, they all have been, haven't they, in the past?
Well, yes, of course. We've got so many. There's some big hitters missing, of course. No Brazil this time. I think there's a couple of champions from Europe missing as well. I can't remember who exactly.
Spain, I think, is one of them.
Yeah.
And Portugal,
We've got Argentina back in there. We've got Mexico, of course, looking to defend their crown on a good run of form as well, by the looks of things.
Yeah, very good run of form for Mexico. We've got the ever consistent Colombia. Nigeria made it back. England's there. Italy, did Italy make it?
I can't remember.
Let's have a look. Yeah, Italy did make it. So you got Italy, you got France, Netherlands,
Portugal.
Czech Republic's back. Saudi Arabia's back. Cameroon's back.
Yeah.
There's so much in this.
There's a lot of questions to be answered. There's no real standout favourite, but of course, we've got to this stage. Chris, who is going to be your winner?
Oh God. I'm just going to go for it. Yeah, Argentina's winning it.
Ooh.
Argentina's going to win their fourth, I think. I think it's been a while for Argentina, and I think that it's been a brilliant run of form for Argentina. I think they're going to go and win it.
Okay.
What's yours?
Well, I'm also going to go for a trophy winner this year, but I'm going to say it's going to be France.
Ooh, what, to win their fifth?
Yeah. I've just got a feeling, it's been a while since they've won one. They went, if you remember back, the 2017 title was 8 years after their third. And there's now been 8 previous winners since they last won. So this is number 9. I reckon they could do it again.
Okay, well, of course we got some other teams as well that could certainly put up a fight. Of course, South Korea, former runners-up, of course. Cameroon and Nigeria, both former runners-up twice. You got some big names in there.
We really do.
And
but
England,
next week,
of course.
it is going to be a no-holds-barred matchup of, epic proportions. Of course, this is also the last chance to get qualification for the Champion of Champions. So, the littler teams will want the big runs.
Certainly will. The teams that just haven't had great runs, they're going to want this. They're going to need this at this point. And of course, we have our dud team, which I'm quite certain is looking on the teams now. Unless Uzbekistan's done worse or Vietnam's done worse, it's probably going to be Aruba. But
yeah, it'll be Aruba.
We will have to have a look, of course, and we'll be back next week, of course, for the Global Trophy Finals. Who is going to win? It's all to play for here. It really is.
It really, really is. And, who knows? It's honestly, like we've seen before, Argentina can slip up, France can slip up. We just don't know.
Yep. Is it going to be one of those dominant years, or will we see another shock Global Trophy win? I guess we'll find out next week. So, until then, folks, I'm Masterath.
I've been Samuel64.
And we'll see you next week for the 2026 Global Trophy Final. We'll see you then.